Lutherans in the Madison area welcome a new bishop. How the pandemic didn't stop them from celebrating this moment. And Wisconsin hits a new milestone in its fight against the coronavirus, while a former government official provides a grim warning about what the winter might bring. Plus, President Trump says he's immune to COVID-19. Why that's not true.
This is News 3 Now at 10.
Thanks for joining News 3 Now. I'm Amanda Quintana. Lutherans in our viewing area have a brand new bishop. 138 different congregations are welcoming in Bishop Joy Mortensen Wiebe. Adam Dexter shows us how faith ceremonies like this are made possible during the pandemic.
Well, despite organizers of today's event in Black Earth being limited as to how many people they could invite due to coronavirus restrictions, they still say it could not be happening at a more significant time. Things at New Heights Lutheran Church, or any church for that matter, haven't been normal in quite a while.
This pandemic and the resultant requirement to be physically distant goes against everything that we do as church.
But Bishop Elizabeth Eaton, who presides over every ELCA in the United States, says the Lutheran faith has always been about reform and finding a way.
People have mistakenly said that the church has been closed all these months. The church never closed. I mean, the buildings might have closed, but the church never closed.
And on the 50th anniversary of the first woman ever being ordained in the Lutheran Church, the nearly 140 congregations surrounding Madison watched virtually as Joy Mortensen Wiebe was installed as their bishop.
Today's a huge day. It's not a position that I ever saw God calling me into. So God is a God of surprises, and I just believe in the call of the Holy Spirit, and I'm just very blessed to be able to be called to this place to serve.
Bishop Mortensen Wiebe says her first big goal is to become even more familiar with every congregation in her area. And while any other year her installation would probably look a little different.
The parking lot would be full. We'd have folks, probably sitting. I don't know if we could fit everybody in this church.
She says she too knows church goes beyond the building. And while you might think that church being moved online would reduce the number of people coming each week, the church leaders I spoke with today say exactly the opposite has been true. They say they're excited about what's to come next. In Black Earth, Adam Dexter, News 3 Now.
Bishop Mortensen Wiebe was elected with 166 votes. Reverend Stacy Fiddler, pastor of St. John's Lutheran Church in Rock Island, Illinois, received 165 votes. It was the first time an election was held virtually. Let's get a look at your first warn weather with Dana Fulton. We're watching some rain tonight.
We are. Right now it's dry in southern Wisconsin, but those showers and storms are in a line just to the west, and we'll be moving in our area looking ahead to early tomorrow morning. This loops over the last few hours, that line bringing some very high winds to the southern edge of Minnesota and throughout western Iowa right now. We're seeing some warmer temperatures in the southwestern corner of the state. Otherwise, a mild night expected. Our temps are going to hold pretty steady in the mid to upper 50s, close to 60 degrees. So we have the rain coming through for early Monday, close to daybreak. Then the week ahead, it's going to feel quite like fall outside. We'll stay pretty cool and mostly dry once we get through tomorrow morning's rain chances. But we'll take a closer look at your full 10-day in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Dana. One person is in the hospital after an early morning stabbing in Fitchburg. Police say they responded to the 3500 block of Breckenridge Court around 5 o'clock. They say the victim is in stable condition. One suspect is in custody in the Dane County Jail on multiple charges, including recklessly endangering safety. Exactly 3 weeks after hitting 100,000 all-time cases, Wisconsin has added another 50,000. For reference, the Badger State reported its first COVID-19 case on February 5th. It took more than 5 months until July 28th to reach 50,000. Then nearly 3 more months to reach 100,000, but just 21 days to reach today's marker. DHS and county dashboards show an increase of nearly 2,500 cases over the last day, bringing the all-time total north of 150,000. 7 more people have died, while about 30,000 cases remain active. Heartbreaking and frustrating. That's how Wisconsin healthcare leaders are reacting to the state's 150,000 cases. In a joint statement released by Joe Biden's campaign, the 9 doctors and politicians who signed the statement say Wisconsin hospitals and ICUs are nearing capacity, but, quote, President Trump and the Wisconsin GOP still have no plan for how to get this virus under control. They continue to say Wisconsin needs a president who will follow the science of the virus and praised Joe Biden's, quote, comprehensive plan to beat this pandemic. The former head of the FDA says the U.S. will likely face a difficult fall and winter when it comes to the pandemic. Dr. Scott Gottlieb made the comments this morning on Face the Nation.
I think we're going to face a difficult fall and winter. What we thought might be just a bump after Labor Day clearly is a resurgence in the virus heading into the fall and the winter. You're seeing cases build across the entire country. There's now about 15 states with a positivity rate above 10%. About 40 states have a RT, a rate of transfer above 1.0, which means they have an expanding epidemic.
Yesterday, an influential coronavirus model used by the White House projected nearly 395,000 deaths in the U.S. by the start of February. That's about 180,000 more deaths between now and then. The model says if social distancing measures are eased, there could be more than 500,000 deaths by that time. With 3 weeks until Election Day, more than 7 million Americans have already cast their ballots. That's according to a CNN survey of election officials in 36 states. So far, Democrats lead Republicans in the 6 states reporting returns by party. Polling shows Republicans strongly prefer voting in person on Election Day instead of using early options. By the end of next week, all 50 states and Washington, D.C. will have ballots available for early voters. Meanwhile, on a campaign call today, President Trump said he has tested, quote, totally negative for the coronavirus ahead of his Monday visit to Florida.
And I've been tested totally negative. I'm going to be out in Florida tomorrow working very hard because this is an election we have to win. This is the most important election of our lives.
The president's doctors haven't confirmed the negative results so far, and a team